Hey guys, it's Dolly here with Goldthread. We're excited to showcase some of the amazing and talented women we featured this year. But first, we can't talk about women of the world without talking about Me Too in China. In 2018, Me Too took China by storm. Some of the country's most powerful men, including a billionaire, a famous Buddhist monk, and a well-known television host, were publicly outed. But out of the 36 men who were accused of sexual harassment and assault, more than half of them faced no consequences. So while Chinese women feel more empowered than ever to speak up, thanks to the women of the internet, we've yet to see if Me Too will bring tangible, structural changes to Chinese society. On the other hand, against this backdrop of patriarchy, some strong, fearless women are still striving to pursue their passion against all odds. When Shafu first discovered longboarding on the internet, she couldn't even find a skate shop in her hometown. Now, the self-taught longboarder is famous in the community and professionally sponsored by one of the biggest longboard makers in the world. Skateboarding and longboarding are catching on quick in China. With many cities not yet restricting skaters from public spaces, the community is left to thrive, at least for now. Shafu is one of China's most well-known female longboarders. She came from Wuhan to show us a few tricks in Beijing. She started longboarding in 2013 and now even owns her own shop in Wuhan.
我是通过国外的一个视频叫 Longboarding 的一些网站的视频，看到一些玩长板的东西，然后我就想开始尝试一下。
The internet plays a huge role in the growth of longboarding and skateboarding in China. In fact, longboarding was so niche that Xiaofu had to buy her first longboard online at Taobao, which is kind of like China's Amazon. But those days are over. Today, Xiaofu is professionally sponsored by one of the world's biggest longboard makers, Canada's Lanyards.
就现在网络很发达嘛，就是在国内的有像 QQ 啊、微信啊，他们上面有一些群，就是一个小组织一样，你加进去，然后你会找他们一起去玩，就是这样，就是通过这样的方式认识的。我觉得滑长板的时候，它是一个很自由的状态，很享受一个这种滑在上面的感觉，很城市，也很自然。
This video involved hours of filming Xiaofu out of the trunk of a car, and constant interruptions from cute and curious neighborhood dogs. The next woman we want to introduce is an entrepreneur who grew up in China's spice capital, Chengdu.
So at the factory, we make 400 to 500 kilos hotpot sauce every 10 days. My name is Anita Li. This is my family's hotpot company.
Hotpot is a cauldron of savory broth where diners cook their ingredients tableside. In Chengdu alone, there are nearly 10,000 hotpot restaurants.
We have in total 14 restaurants. So the hotpot factory makes all the sauce that restaurants use and distribute to all the different locations.
Here in Chengdu, the capital of Sichuan, peppercorns and chili peppers are the prized ingredients. So naturally, the soup base can get quite spicy.
We collect chili peppers from different regions of China, and then we get peppercorn and fermented bean paste, and then we mix them all together with the beef lard and fry it all together, and then use that as the base of a hotpot sauce. The most distinguishing flavor or signature flavor you can find from hotpot is ma la, right? So ma is the Ngan bean, which comes from the peppercorn, and la is the spicy coming from the chili pepper. So that's the base of the hotpot sauce.
The factory also packages their own sesame oil, which is used as a dipping sauce at the restaurants.
There are two purposes of the sesame oil. One is actually to cool down the temperature of the food, and then it's also helping to get it less spicy.
Spice is unavoidable in a Sichuan hot pot, but for Anita, who grew up eating chili peppers, it's part of what makes the experience so addicting.
I grew up with eating hot pot and chilies. I sometimes joke with my friends, like even my blood probably tastes spicy. So yeah, it has always been part of my life and it always makes me feel like home. Basically also I just love the flavor, I can't live without it. Oh, are you okay?
My pants worked a little bit.
It actually did.
Anita runs her own business offering food and drink tours in Chengdu. She credits her dad, a passionate foodie who would take the family on road trips across China to try new foods and restaurants, as her inspiration. Last but not least, this woke, radical superwoman of a chef in Taiwan makes a special type of dumpling in an effort to fight the legacy of both Japanese and Chinese colonization. The leaves she uses are often misunderstood to be dangerous. Keep watching to find out why.
老叶的生长环境非常的特殊，因为它要攀爬，在树上，所以它一定要在树荫底下。我们今天会做野菜水饺，里面的馅料是用很特别的老叶来做水饺的料。Hello， 大家好，我是阿勒斯，鲁凯名是阿勒斯拉鲁巴拉。
The Rukai people are one of 16 officially recognized tribes in Taiwan. They're part of Australasia, a region that spans from Southeast Asia all the way across to Oceania. Her village is called Taromak, and they've resided in the subtropical mountains of southern Taiwan for over 15,000 years, but in the early 20th century were moved down to the flatlands by Japanese colonists. When Chinese settlers arrived in the 1940s, the tribe was forced to assimilate by learning Mandarin.
我们自己的文化的本身，在很多殖民的情况之下，我们发现越来越找不到你自己的。
Alice was the first person in her tribe to get a college education. She has a restaurant in the south where she uses indigenous ingredients like betel leaf.
我想要开一个我可以应用我自己原住民的食材作为一个平台，来介绍我自己是原住民这样子的一个方式。我的食材其实大部分都是从我的生活的环境，不管是山林啊，或者是平地，那我的食材用采集这样子的方式来应用在我的餐厅里面。我们原住民台湾的南岛民族呢，他会用老叶包槟榔来吃。
Now, oregano is a psychoactive berry and the fourth most addictive substance in the world after caffeine, nicotine, and alcohol. Prevalent all over Southeast Asia, it gives consumers a mild buzz, and studies show that it can lead to cancer. But why does this matter? Because the nut is almost always served wrapped inside a betel leaf, and throughout the years, the leaf, though it's not carcinogenic at all, has come to carry the same negative connotations. And Alice hopes to change that.
可是我们发现，在很多的东南亚国家、南岛国家，其实槟榔是一种很好的草药。那我们就想要说，用一个很创新的方式，把槟榔再重新应用到我们的食材的材料里面。老叶的叶子切细好之后呢，里面会对。 因为老叶它在使用的时候，它会有很特别的呛辣的味道。那我们把它的味道呢稍微综合了，比较温润，然后我们加了我们称阿里波罗，就是甲酸浆，然后两个混合在一起，还蛮对味的。 那我们的食材其实是应用民主植物的那种智慧，非常有关系。那我们的食材也都是跟我们自己居住的生活环境是息息相关的。
Shafu, Anita, and Hanley Chu are just 3 of the amazing women we've met this year. And there are so many more stories to be told, including how Me Too is shaping women's rights in China. So, help us out! What other stories do you want to see from the lives of women in China? What would you like to hear about next? Comment below, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Goldthread for another year of stories featuring bold, radical, and powerful women. And just like, no, cut, do it again, do it again. And I was just like, okay, do it again.